Stay like that. I didn't say you go nowhere. Patty.
She's so sassy.
That's my little sweetheart right there. Woo-wee. So pretty, just like your daddy. Looks just like your daddy, huh?
Sure.
Who you love the most? Huh? Who?
Hey, I told you.
I'm not buying any more Barbie dolls.
She don't like Barbie.
She don't play with Barbie dolls?
No, she doesn't.
No? You little sweet bad girl, you.
Barbies.
Anyway, guys, what's going on? Hanging out on the front porch here like we always do. And we're going to talk shop. It's beautiful out here in sunny Destin, Florida, on the front porch of my house here in off of Highway 98 here in Crystal Beach? Miramar, Crystal Beach area. What's up, CJ? Anyway, guys, I kind of want to talk to you about what's going on because I've experienced this. Like, I don't usually talk about stuff I don't know what of, but I have a lot of experience of wholesaling and investing in real estate during a down time. Matter of fact, right when I started investing, right when I got into wholesaling, the freaking economy crashed, right? Let me switch this over. Economy crashed, right? Right when I got into wholesaling about 6 years ago. Oil, what's up, Jason? Oil went from $125 a barrel to $28 a barrel, and we lost thousands of jobs. Like you guys, 2008 was my 2014, right? We didn't miss a beat in 2008. So I kind of have a little bit of experience of what it feels like to go through an economic slowdown. And we're still going through an economic slowdown in the South, especially. Lafayette's got the third worst economy in the whole nation, right? What's up, Ray? Ray knows a thing or two about economic slowdowns too. So I know a lot of people are scared. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, the world's ending. I don't know what to do. Guys, listen, this is gonna be the greatest. If everything happens like they're saying it's gonna happen, we're gonna have a freaking zombie apocalypse / thermal nuclear meltdown of all the financial markets. What's up, Ray, my man? We need to get together, my brother. What's going to happen is basically there's going to be massive opportunity. Massive opportunity. Like as a real estate investor, guys, you should get excited, right? Like Warren Buffett says, right? When people are fearful, you got to be greedy, right? And when people are greedy, you got to be fearful. Well, people have been greedy for the past, we've been in a bull market for since 2008, 12-year bull market, unprecedented. So, with that said, like everything is cyclical, right? Everything is going to be up, it's going to come down. Like most of you guys are in your early 20s, you probably don't even know what the hell, like shit, I've never been through this. And look, hopefully we don't see a slowdown. Maybe this shit goes away in 2 to 4 weeks and everybody stops talking about the coronavirus and gets back to normal day living. But from what I can tell, it's probably not going to be like that. I mean, they're creating so much panic, so much scare in the marketplace that, dude, I don't know if we're going to get back to normal. And whether Corona is real or it's not real, I think this is going to be a planned slowdown by the people that are in the know. I don't think this shit is all. This is all planned. Don't think if you think that this happened by chance, come on, guys. They needed to cool off the market. They needed to cool off the market and have this happen because the markets are so hot, right? This is all by design. So with that said, this is where you get rich, right? If you want to get into real estate, if you want to, if you're like, shit, I'm on the fence, I don't know if I should get into real estate, this is bad timing. This is the time, guys. I got in, I've been a real estate investor since I was 24. I actually got in right when 2008, when everything was right before. Actually, I flipped my first house right before in 2006, made a ton of money. Then 2008 hit, got freaking hammered. Built back up, did really good. 2014 hit, got hammered really bad with all of my businesses, not just real estate, because I was heavily invested in, quick lube, car wash, mechanic shops. What's up, Ryan De Laurentiis, one of my students, who's crushing it over there in, in London. So what you have to understand is that I've been through this. In 2014, I freaking like I had 4 locations, I had 4 quick lube car wash mechanic shops. I crushed it for 12 years straight. We freaking we freaking like got our sales cut in 2/3, guys, like not half, 2/3. I bled out really bad. I'm still bleeding out at one of the shops, right? I was able to sell off most of those shops, but however, what saved me from that economic slowdown, right? What saved me? By the grace of God, I got into wholesaling in 2014, the same year the economy crashed in my market. And what happened? It was the perfect time. It was the perfect storm, right? I freaking slaughtered the wholesale game. Slaughtered it in 2014 when the economy slowed down. So you guys that are in real estate, maybe you're a flipper, maybe you're a buy and hold guy. There's a few different things I want to talk to you about. If you're not in the wholesale game, first of all, you need to start wholesaling, because there's going to be more deals than there's been in the past 12 years here in the next probably 6 to 8 months to a year, if everything plays out like it's supposed to. If you're a flipper, you got to stop flipping. I'm not saying stop completely, but if you're doing any high-end flips, get away from those high-end flips. People are still going to buy houses, but it's going to be a very small margin of buyer pool. It's going to probably be that first-time home buyer that's going to probably buy that $100,000 to $150,000 house. That may still be available if you're going to flip that. For you buy and hold guys, get out of high-end rentals. I was in high-end rentals. I got slaughtered, guys, like to the point where I almost lost it all. The only reason I didn't, can I start wholesaling? Yes, you can. Hit me up. I can teach you how. I got some students crushing in London. I got slaughtered in 2000, from 2014. Actually, up until now, I bought like $3 million worth of single family homes prior to 2014, and I bought nice high-end single family homes, brick on slab, and I was getting, at $1,700 to $2,000 a month in rent. I got hammered. Guess what? The people that had affordable housing, the people that were, renting for $800 to $1,000 to maybe $1,200, they freaking crushed it, right? They didn't miss a beat, right? Affordable housing is always going to be there. Now, is there a little bit more of a headache with affordable housing? Yeah, absolutely. That's a trade-off, right? But if you got a bunch of high-end rentals, be willing to rent your stuff out to just make the payments, or even lose money every month just to ride this thing out. That's what I had to do. And I had to sell properties at a loss because I didn't buy at a wholesale rate. I bought, that was before I knew how to buy direct to seller and get a bunch of deals. But with that said, we've been having happy days these whole, past 12 years. I know I've been crushing it. I know a lot of you guys follow me. A lot of my students have been crushing it. The flipping market will slow down. The wholesaling market will definitely slow down, but the wholesale market will probably get better. Will probably get a lot better. Now, don't think that this isn't all planned, guys. Like, and you probably think, oh, here he goes, he's fucking conspiracy theorist. Where's his fucking tin hat? Listen, there's a fucking shadow government. I don't give a shit what you say, how you think about it. You got to be living under a fucking rock to think that shit ain't planned out. Like, this shit is definitely planned out. This didn't happen by chance. They're cooling off the markets. And they're using a bait and switch to cool off the markets because it's getting way too hot, right? Right? Who runs the world, guys? Who runs this country? The banks, the big corporations, and the media. Right? The banks, the corporations, and the media, those three things. The media has inflicted so much scare tactics in cahoots with the banks and the big CEOs and the big corporations to collapse the economy, or at least cool it down and cool it off. Why? So they can frickin' buy shit at pennies in the dollar. When things go up, they let shit inflate. They let all the stupid people buy in, inflate everything. And what do? They pull the plug. Once they pull the plug, what happens? Everything deflates, and they come in and they buy everything at a discount. Assets go on sale, right? And it's like, I hate to say that that's the game though, but that is the game, and you got to learn how to play that game, and you got to be greedy right now, and you got to go all in, right? That's right, Shane. It was the needle for the bubble. That's all it was. They couldn't figure out how to slow it down. So what are they doing? They're using a controlled scare tactic to pull the plug on this huge, massive inflated bubble that we've been in, this massive bull run. But with that said, some of you guys maybe are over leveraged. I was over leveraged in 2014 because I didn't know any better. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? But I'm telling you, from experience that this is going to be a buying opportunity of a lifetime, you should learn how to go direct to seller, because there's going to be a lot of people that bought shit at premium prices because they thought, it's happy days all the time, everything's good, nothing's going to happen, there's no way things are going to slow down. Or maybe they never went through a slowdown, right? And they've never I've been through it. Like I'm 39 years old now, right? I went through 2008, I went through 2014, so I've been through 2 economic slowdowns. Actually, I've been through 3 or 4, back in 2000.com, but I was in high school. But I remember back in the early 80s or late 80s, 87 and 88, I was 7 years old. We had an oil crisis in South Louisiana and throughout the world. And I never forget that. We moved out of our single family home with 5, I think it was 5 or 6 of us, and we had to move into a 1-bedroom apartment. And I remember asking my mom and dad, why are we moving in this apartment from our house? And because it had a community pool. And she told us, well, we moved in this apartment because we could, we give you guys a pool, right? But that's kind of so anyway, but I digress. But what I'm trying to tell you is, it's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. The zombie apocalypse is not here. It's time to go all in right now. It's time to really, really think about how to get into the game of real estate. I know for me, I'm gonna be freaking going all in on multifamily mobile home parks, and I'm gonna wholesale. I'm probably not gonna flip as many houses anymore. We got I closed on a deal in New Orleans this past Friday. I got one in Mobile. I got I got 2 or 3 in Florida, and I got a couple in the in Louisiana market. Once we sell those, I'm out. We're not going to be flipping anymore. We're going to be wholesaling everything. I'm grinding your course out and learning so I can take advantage of the market if it heads down. Absolutely, Luke. Luke just joined my program. Julian said, and guys, post your comments while we're going through. Just post. I'll come back and I will answer all your questions as we go through. Let me go back and but post your questions. Like this is good times, guys. I say it's good time. Like, it's good times as an investor. It's going to be really shitty times for some people, and don't feel bad. Like, you're going to be helping a lot of people. Like, I know for me in 2014 to 2016, if you go look at all of my reviews, I got like 5-star reviews on all my Facebook and Google reports, because these people, because everybody pulls back, right? Everybody's scared, and everybody's trying to sell their house at the same time, and there's no buyers. So you as an investor, you come in, you offer cash, and you either wholesale it or you buy it. They're freaking over the moon. They're not upset that you bought their house at 60 cents on the dollar. They're like freaking ecstatic, right? You provide a service, right? So don't feel like, you're taking advantage of people, which you're going to get a lot of people saying, hey, you're taking advantage of people, you're this, you're that. They're just idiots, right? They don't understand the game of investing, right? If you're an investor, you're not a full retail buyer. You don't buy shit full retail. That's for the people that are full retail buyers, right? Let's see, Jebby. I like Chris Rood. Been following your channel or your personal posts and got some set me looking how I can start in United Kingdom. 2007, I came from Africa, Zimbabwe, and lost a job last week because of what's happening, though got a little saved. Awesome, dude. Let's see. High-end rentals are more of a headache in my opinion. I mean, Julian, I can't disagree with you. Like, I still have 2 single-family homes right now I'm trying to get rid of that I bought years ago that I shouldn't. Actually, I have 3 that I'm buying that I'm getting rid of right now. If I could do it all over again, guys, I wouldn't mess with. I mean, and look, I don't want to say don't do single-family homes. There's money in single-family homes if you do it right. Go for brick on slab, affordable house. Like, usually you can pick up these, depending on what market you're in, if you can pick up a 30, 40-year-old single-family home that's just dated, if you can pick that brick up, that's a brick on slab. Don't buy a wood frame house. Buy some nice brick on slab houses that are old and dated, little 3-bedroom, 1-bath, that you can get for $1,000 a month for, that you can pick up for maybe 35, 40 grand. That's what I would, if you're going to do single-family homes, that's what I would do, right? But high-end rentals, stay away from it. Stay away from high-end single-family homes. I would stay away from condos. Unless they're like a 1-bedroom on the beach, which I have 2 of those, which I'm closing on one next week, another one in Panama City. Tuesday, Mom, will we closing that one? And we picked that one up at $150,000. It's worth $210. 1-bedrooms on the beach, you can't go wrong.
He said even $220. We could probably
get $220 for it. Yeah, but we're not gonna flip. We're gonna rent it for a little while. Let's see. Dustin says, I'm with you, brother. I appreciate that.
Tell them
Ryan,
why not put them on rent to own or seller financing?
why not? Okay, well, you can to get you by. I mean, you can.
You can.
If you can't, look, if you got a bunch of high-end single-family homes, you can't rent them. That's honestly, that's the strategy I went with. We did a bunch of rent to own because nobody could afford rent, but we had some people that were willing to do, you know, a lease option. There are ways to mitigate your losses, and we were able to do that. Excuse me, by doing lease options, right? Now, with that said, 95% of them are going to give you back the house trashed.
Yes. How much?
Trashed.
$40,000.
We had one last year on Teakwood, right?
Yes.
In Youngsville.
Beautiful house.
Beautiful house. We couldn't rent it, so we did a lease option. They stayed in it about 1.5 years, 2 years. Gave it back to us because they quit paying.
And Julie.
Trashed. Last week we had another one too. Trash. We lost $40,000 in that house. Now I had no option. Like I could either put $60,000 into it to try to rehab it and resell it, or I could just take a $40,000 loss. I chose to take a $40,000 loss. I wrote a check for $40,000 just to get out of that deal. So be careful with lease options. You know, if you're gonna do a lease option, make sure you get the right people in there. And
make sure maybe if you could check on it every.
Yeah, you need to
month
check
or
on it because then I have a lease option that just moved out last about 2 years. She put $5,000 down. Sure enough, they got dogs. The whole house smells like dogs. I mean, they didn't totally trash
Get a
it.
big down
But yeah, you need to get a big down payment. And with that big down payment, put it toward the note.
Oh, it says error.
Um,
Is yours saying error?
no, mine didn't say error. Guys, can you still hear me okay? Let's see. Ryan De La Renta says, even if you're wholesaling in a down market, you have to be careful with your closing dates that you aren't losing money while you Oh, I'm back. Now I'm back. Connection available. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. We lost about half of our people, but we're back. All right. Did you find that your buyers list shrunk down during that time, or were there some people reaching out to buy more? A little bit of both, Luke. Like I remember, it wiped out a lot of It wiped out investors that were too greedy while things were good. So they they were on hold. They quit buying deals. But there's a lot of the smarter investors came out and said, hey man, I know there's deals out there, send me what you got. So it was a little bit of both. Do you think wholesaling will start getting more regulated? Nicholas, like, absolutely, Nicholas. I think it would definitely get more regulated, but here's the thing. I don't care how regulated it gets. No government agency will be able to tell you that you can't buy at one price and resell at another price. Now, they may be able to stop what's called the assignment fee, right, where you assign your contract. However, all you got to do is start double closing, right? If they stop doing assignments, all you got to do is do double closes, right? What do I mean by double close? You buy it at one price, you're going to have to actually close it with your money or transactional funding money, or use somebody else's money and actually buy it and then turn around and resell it. So you will lose money. Close the door, Patty. You will lose money on the closing fees, closing costs, and having to double close it, right? So I mean, that will eat into your profit. You know, might cost you $2,000, $1,000, $1,500. But no, do I think wholesaling would go away? No. I mean, that's like saying, you know, being a stock trader is going to go away. That's all we do is day trade real estate. At the end of the day, all wholesaling is that you're day trading real estate. You're buying at one price, reselling at another price. Yeah, they might better stop the assignment of contracts, and all that is just realtors and brokers getting together with legislation trying to stop, you know, because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, people, that get into wholesaling don't know what they're doing sometimes. They put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, and it causes some drama. But at the end of the day, no, it won't be affected. You know, I know in Oklahoma, what happened was they stopped. They made assignment of contracts illegal without a real estate license, right? Well, people are still going to buy real estate. No, there's no government agency can tell me, hey, you can't buy that property and resell it tomorrow. No, they can't. All they're gonna do is it's just gonna get better for the people that really know, that have capital and who can close on deals or have access to capital. It's just gonna get better for those guys, and the people that can't close on deals, that all they're dependent on is the signing of contracts. Those are the people that are gonna get hammered, right? Tevin says, why not put them on rent to own? Or we already talked about that. Jason says, should we increase our marketing budgets during this time period? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it hasn't gotten bad yet, Jason. It ain't like the world's going to end next week. But I mean, I would say within the next 3 to 4 months is when you're really going to see. If it stays like this and people stop spending money and stop traveling, they stop commerce, they stop all this stuff, yeah, within 3 to 4 months we're going to see a huge increase in payment delinquency, job loss, things of that nature. So what should the broke be doing right now? Dude, that's a great question, Justin. Dude, you got to get multiple sources of income. Like you got to be diversified in your income streams. Like you should be trying to figure out ways to add value and to I can see myself. Guys, can you hear me? My wife's saying she can't see me or hear me on the post. Log out and log back in. You should be trying to figure out ways to add value, and dude, you might have to have 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 hustles. That's how I made it through. That's how I made it. I made it through by having multiple hustles.
When one thing goes to shit, the other one picks up for it.
Yep. Michael Caine, perfect time for wholesaling. That's exactly right. But Justin, dude, you yeah, we can hear you. Okay, they said they can hear me, Patty. So it's just yours. Yeah, it's your phone. Turn your phone off and go back on. And I can see all the questions too, so I don't really need you. So yeah, you can go.
Oh.
You can go somewhere else and look pretty and drink wine and go cook the rest of our dinner. Huh? What y'all think? No, anyway, guys. But what should but that's what, dude. Do Uber, like.
So many side
There's so many side hustles. I mean. But dude, wholesaling is the ultimate side hustle. I don't know of a better side hustle than wholesaling. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but I don't know of a better side hustle. Yeah. Do you see short sales increase? Absolutely. Dude, that's a great. I'm glad you bring that up, Bill. But see, it's hard to do short sales right now because the banks won't allow investors to look at short sales, and it takes like usually 30 days before. When you do a short sale, an investor can't buy a short sale unless retail buyers have looked at them first. What happens is in a down economy, short sales get really good again because there's no buyers. There's no retail buyers within the first 30 days typically, and investors can come in. So this is actually a great opportunity for short sales. So to learn the short sale game, I was told in 2000, between 2008 and 2010, people slaughtered it on the short sale side, right? So learn how to do short sales. You don't have to learn how to do it. You just got to get hooked up with a realtor, and they can do it for you that understands short sales. The better you know your market in a recession, the more money you'll make. Absolutely, Ryan. Ryan's one of my students from London. He's crushing it. Listen, when he says that learn your market, like I talk about this in my book, I talk about this in my coaching. When I say learn your market, like really learn your market, like learn every neighborhood in your town, right? Learn what the average days on market are in that area. Learn what, if that's a middle income, high income, lower class, working class area. Learn all the different, these different strategies, right? So bring me your questions, guys. I think at the end of the day, it's Patty says, we have 2-1 bet. If they can't do a short sale, then you can take over their property on terms. Because a lot of these people have good mortgages. They'll have like a 30-year different avenues, right? Sorry, you guys just coming back on. I lost like another half of my people. There's only 15 people on now. Sorry about that. The internet connection keeps popping in and out. But we're talking about lease options, wholesaling lease options with people that don't have, you know, a lot of equity, but they have a nice house in a decent neighborhood, but they just can't sell it because there's no buyers and they don't have enough equity to sell it to an investor. Go ahead and put it under contract and take it over on a lease option, or just get under a contract and wholesale it to somebody that you can sell it to as on a lease option, right? There's so many different strategies. But with that said, there's still going to be some risk. If you don't know what you're doing, don't go in there trying to be Mr. Big Shot because you watch Chris Rood's live and you're like, oh, Chris said this and I'm going to go in and start trying to wholesale this and do that. If you've never done any of this and you just like trying to do it with no experience, get somebody to help you. Find somebody locally if you can't afford a mentor. Add value to him. You know, if I had no money getting started and I couldn't, pay for a mentor, go work for somebody for free just to learn the game. Say, hey, I'll bird dog for you. I'll put out signs for you. I'll go on appointments. I'll do whatever just to learn the game if you can't hire a mentor. But it's just a knowledge-based game, guys. Once you understand how to buy right and how to, like I said, all wholesaling is at the end of the day, it's a professional marketing business. And once you understand marketing and you understand your market, your backyard, dude, it's over with. It's game on, right? What ways do you typically network with realtors? So the way I just tell every realtor in town, hey, look, I'm an investor. I'm looking for deals, whatever pocket listings you have. That's another great point too. Network with all the realtors in your town right now, because they're gonna get a lot of people that they know. They're calling them saying, hey, look, I'm not paying my note anymore. Do you have an investor that'll buy my property? And if you're top of mind, right? If you're top of mind with these realtors, they'll call you for all their deals, right? So, but it's an interesting topic, right? It's an interesting subject of economic slowdowns and, do I think real estate will get hosed? I think real estate in the tourism part of certain parts of real estate will get hammered. Like I'm kind of worried about this, my beach house here in Destin, Florida, as far as, if they start shutting down flights. But Patty said most of the people that come here don't fly, they drive, right? So I mean that's a good point too.
We haven't had any cancellations.
We haven't had any cancellations, not one. So that's a good point. I'm not worried about our 1 bedrooms on the beach we have. Those will still rent because it's so affordable, right? But this house rents for $10,000 a week in the summertime, so it's not a cheap place to rent. But we haven't had any. Anyway, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing to live through when you see a slowdown. It's like it's kind of weird to watch.
I didn't watch you at the beginning. Did you tell them about all the people that were living in their houses? We bought 65, 70 homes the first year.
Oh, just the first year. When I started wholesaling when everything fell apart in 2014 with the economy. I probably bought 30, 40 foreclosures just in my town that first year. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was craziness. Yeah, I had people inboxing me every other day saying that they knew somebody that was losing their house. So, you're providing a massive service. You're providing an awesome service.
All those people got to keep their credit and got to move to Houston and get jobs.
Yep, and you're helping people, keep their credit and keep their credit. There's so many benefits of what you do. So, anyway, any other questions, guys? Any concerns? I'm kind of, I don't know. I have not met one person that has corona. Have you, Patty?
Nope. I
don't even know anybody. I don't even know anybody. So, and I'm sure maybe some of you guys that on here maybe know somebody. I have not met one person yet.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that too. And I'm not saying it's not real, but I'm posting some few things that are risque on social media, and people are kind of inboxing me, basically being real ugly to me, saying, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, yada, yada, yada. I know one thing's for sure. This ain't the first time we've had a scare with the, before that it was freaking Zula virus, where it was called Zika. Before that it was the L1, SARS. Then it was the bird flu, L1, N1, swine. Like, dude, what's different from this one? But except for everybody's freaking out. I think everybody's freaking out because the media that controls everything that goes in your mind, you can't think for yourself. Most people can't think for themselves, and they think because the media says it that it's true. Guys, the media knows that they have a monopoly on your thoughts. The media knows they have a monopoly on your thoughts, so they control. They're like the thought police almost. Like they literally can tell you something and you believe it because they said it. Well, what makes them so credible, right? Because what? Because they said it? Obviously, if they have a vested interest and maybe they want you to think a certain way, because maybe if you think a certain way, certain things will happen and it's all planned. They may make a couple $1 billion because they bought into some stock they knew would crash, because if they say this on television, this will happen, therefore they'll make a profit, right? You ever thought about that? That's been going on for centuries, guys. Centuries, look it up.
And I'm
right?
not saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Yeah,
but I mean,
but like, who said that best? I forgot what his name was. He says, "Never let a good crisis go to waste. Never let a good crisis go to waste." And it was a guy, he's a globalist, and he's basically saying that anytime there's a crisis, you can monopolize on it, right? And then that's what he did. Like, never let a good crisis go to waste, because they want to make money off of our stupidity, right? So, don't mean to get...
Like my witch doctor says, just take it as training your immune system.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all we're doing is train. Now, there are going to be some people, they are saying it's going to be harmful to older people, and that sucks. I mean, that's definitely a concern. I'm not saying there's no credibility in all this, but it's definitely being overly preached. But I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, is it scary to some people? Absolutely. But understand that there's merchants of chaos out there, meaning people's sole job is to scare you. And they've been doing it for hundreds of years. You look at any political newspaper, they're in the business of scaring you, right? So Zillow is now buying properties and flipping. What do you think of that? I really don't care. Zillow can't compete with somebody that, unless they start learning exactly how to wholesale, and they're not going to bet. I mean, will it be some competition? Yeah, but I'm not necessarily worried about it, because the markets they're in are super high-end markets. They're looking for premium properties. I'm not in a super high-end market. I'm not in LA. I'm not in freaking San Francisco. I'm not in Miami. I'm not in, certain parts of Arizona where the market's so hot. I'm in little smaller niche markets where I like to be. I don't see Zillow coming in there. So, real quick, what's the process for buying a foreclosure? I don't know exactly how it works from wholesaler side. I know they are great leads though. The process is no different than you would buy it if it wasn't in foreclosure. It just means that they're delinquent on their payments. They're usually 3 to 4 months behind, and then what happens is they get a notice from the bank saying, hey, you haven't paid your mortgage. We're going to file for foreclosure if you don't start paying. And they usually try to give you some options, and usually by month 4 or 5 they start the foreclosure process. That usually takes another 3 to 4 months. Within usually 6 to 8 months they've seized your house. So, but it's no different for you. Just get under contract and you buy it. The problem is when with foreclosures, you can't wholesale that. You cannot wholesale a foreclosure or a or a short sale. You have to close on it. Like, so you can't assign. What I'm saying is you can't assign your you can wholesale, but you can't assign your contract on a foreclosure or a short sale. So you have to buy it, right? Kissinger, I think, yeah, it might have been Kissinger, or is actually one of his cronies. I don't think it was Kissinger. It wasn't Henry Kissinger. But he's a globalist that he's with that. So Winston Churchill said, Chris Rood said that. You think it was Winston Churchill? Maybe so. I don't know. I know somebody said it, and it wasn't meant to be like meaning well for the general public. It was. He meant to say it in a manner that was detrimental to the general public at large. That, hey, never let a good crisis go to waste. Rob Emanuel, yes, that is it. That is it. Absolutely, it was Rob Emanuel. That's exactly right, Jerry. Guys, and if you really want to know what the hell is going on with this country, all you got to do is pick up the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. You want to know what's been going on in this country for the past 100 years, 150 years? What you think is not what it actually is going on. Like, dude, the banks run the country along with the media. The banks and the big Fortune 500 companies, the captains of industry, the you know, the $1 billion companies, they set and plan this economy. It's a set and planned economy, right? Mike, how many markets are you in? So I'm in, right now we're in 6 markets. We're opening up Orlando. We're about to get into Knoxville. So I'll be in 8 markets here soon. So, but it's interesting, right? It's just an interesting, and if you probably watch this, you've never met me, like, who's this freaking dude with a southern accent from South Louisiana talking about, he sounds like a crazy person with a tinfoil hat. Hey, maybe I am batshit crazy, but I know I've read enough books. I know I've watched enough interviews. I know I've listened to enough interviews from people that are in the know to know that shit that you think is so just ain't so, right? What you think, they're not going to tell you what's really going on. So if you really think that because Fox News, CNN, all these places are saying one thing, there's always going to be a spin to it, and it's always they're going to push you in a direction that they want you to hear, right? It's not always the truth, right? But yeah, Rob Emanuel said that. He said, never let a good crisis go to waste. And he was a globalist. He do some research on him. But if you want, like I said, if you really want to know what's going on with the banks, the economy, read The Creature from Jekyll Island. The Creature from Jekyll Island. Phenomenal book. It's a big book. It talks about the Federal Reserve and what happened back in I believe it was 1910 or no, maybe a little bit later than that. But anyway, great book. So anyway, any questions? Any questions or concerns? But anyway, guys, get ready, get your powder ready. If you know people that got a lot of money, I would try to partner with them. And if you don't have any capital, try to partner with people. Try to, try to add value, find them a deal and partner with them. If maybe you're the deal finder and they got the capital, and maybe you don't have capital, but you found the deal, you could add value to one another. There's all kind of different ways, right? So anyway, let's see, any more questions, concerns? But anyway, guys, look, if you want to learn all that, if you want to learn how to be a professional investor, inbox me. Like, this is what I do full time. Like, all I do is negotiate deals, check out deals, start new markets. I'm in right now. We're in 6 markets. I've got we've got about 8 partners right now, actually 7 partners that we're partnered up with in all these different markets. 1913. There you go. You must have Googled that, huh, Paul? But yeah, that sounds right. I knew I wouldn't. I was only off by 3 years. I said 1910. So, but anyway, I know how to do this, and I plan on freaking crushing it. I plan on making money if you're a really good investor, you can make money in any economy. You can make money in a down economy. You can make money in a good economy. There's always different tactics and strategies that work. In a booming economy, the wholesaling method and the flipping method work really well, right? But when things go south, like, you don't want to have all kind of flips going, right? Which I got a few flips going right now, but they're affordable housing. Like, the houses are 150, 200,000. If I can't sell them, we'll rent them out until things stabilize. But I bought them for so cheap, I could literally, I got a house right now that's worth $230. I'm into it for $160. Like, what is that? I bought it at 65, 70 cents on the dollar, right? So at the end of the day, you can make money in any economy. You can make money in whatever it does. Just learn the market, learn the different techniques, learn the strategies, and don't over leverage, right? I over leveraged, and I got my ass handed to me. So, does a school district matter in a hot market? Yes, you want to. In a hot market, school districts do matter. People want to be in good school districts, right? If you're in a war zone, obviously that's probably not going to be a good school district. It's not going to be as desirable. But to be honest with you, the 2 things you should be doing right now, if you don't have any money, if the economy goes to shit, wholesale. If you got a lot of money and the economy goes to shit, you need to buy up everything at pennies on the dollar. Buy it up. If you have good credit, buy it up. Buy up everything at 40, 50 cents on the dollar. Get it rented out for cheap. It may be tough to rent out. And I say that may be tough. As long if you're in affordable housing, it may not be that tough. But if you're buying high end stuff, it may be a little bit tougher to rent out. But there's a school market. Okay, area that you're looking at. Okay, I already answered that question. But you know, there's all kind of different strategies, right? There's all kinds of different strategies. Now, what I'm worried about is all these people buying apartment complexes, paying a premium, especially like Wall Street money. You got hedge funds buying apartment complexes at a 4 cap. I mean, shit. I don't know if they have, you know, if you're buying a nice high-end apartment and you have a 20-30% vacancy rate because you know your rent's $2,000 a month in rent or $2,500 a month in rent. I mean, shit. And you're already at a 4 cap, 4 or 5 cap, you have a 20-30% vacancy, shit, you're negative cash flow, right? So, anyway, any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to call it a night. I know we had a few hiccups in the internet. Go back and rewatch this. And if you're interested in working with me, go to chrisrood.com, book a call with me. I'd love to work with you and keep skilling up, guys. Like, that's what it's, just keep skilling up, keep investing in yourself. And no matter what the economy does, you know, if you keep investing in yourself, nobody can crash that economy, right? That economy you got in your mind of knowledge, that economy you got in your mind of knowledge will never devaluate or never crash. You know, you may get some it may shake your certainty every now and then if you have too much data and it's not the right data. But at the end of the day, investing in yourself with the right information, you know, you as an asset, you're the most important asset, guys, that you have. Not an apartment, not real estate. You got to invest in yourself first to build out that appreciation of who you are, right? You got to look at yourself as an asset too. You want to get you as an asset to appreciate. And how do you appreciate? You put money into yourself. How do you make an apartment complex appreciate, or a house? You put money into it, you fix it up, you invest in it to make that asset appreciate. It is no different than you as a human being, right? You got to put money into yourself, put money in your mind, go to masterminds, invest in yourself, make yourself appreciate. When you appreciate, you're going to become more valuable. When you become more valuable, you're going to be able to add more value to the marketplace, and you better make more money, right? If you had a brother who was interested in helping with wholesale for mostly free, how would you try to work with him? If he's your brother, you know, give him 30-40% of the business, or maybe even 50. I don't know. It's whatever you guys want to, you know, figure out. I mean, that's for you to decide. Did you sell out the mastermind? Man, I've got a bunch of people that want to come, but then, you know, this whole Corona thing is scaring everybody. So we're gonna probably postpone the mastermind, to be honest with you, Michael. It's just I've got people that are supposed to come, and then, you know, their wife or their mom or their family members tell them they're crazy for flying right now, or that it's getting too crazy. So, you know, they're buying into all this hysteria. So I mean, you know, what am I do? I can't argue with them, right? So. Patrick says, thanks for always providing value. That's what I do, Patrick. I want to, you know, I love coming on here once a week and just sharing my thoughts. And I wish I could have, you know, I talk to you about things that I wish I'd have known at a younger age. I'm almost 40 now. If I'd have known about these things in my early age, in my early 20s, shit, I'd be so much better off than I am now. And I just wish that somebody else would come talk to me about these things. So appreciate you following me. Appreciate you coming on and joining in, and yeah, so. But on a final note, go all in, guys. Go all in this bad economy. If I say in this bad economy, if it gets really bad, don't be scared. You know, the richest people on the planet, they dump every penny they got into down economies and bad markets, because that's, you know, that's when you make your money, right? So this wholesale business going to be in 38 first week of April if you're holding any event there. Cool, Jerry. Yep. First week of April. I'm not sure if I'm being Destin the first week of April. I may be back in Pensacola. I bounce back and forth from Destin to Pensacola, so I'll let you know. His wholesale business will be around for a while. Absolutely. I mean, everything. Yeah, you can't ever. The wholesaling business will never go away. I mean, people have been wholesaling real estate since real estate was a thing, right? You can't make that go away. You can always buy at one price and resell. Michael Santiago says, "You're still young. I'm 55." Man, thank you. That makes me feel a lot better. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting old, right? 39. I feel like I'm getting really old. So, anyway. All right, guys. Well, we'll probably call it a night. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Please share, like this video, and if you guys that are going to watch it on YouTube, please subscribe and skill up at chrisrood.com. Peace.